Hey everybody, Gabe Suarez here from Suarez Tactics. I was actually going to be out on the range today doing some filming, but got a little bit of a storm coming in, and my days of if it ain't raining, we ain't training. No, those are in the past. I don't feel a need to prove myself unnecessarily any longer. I did go for a run this morning, and that's about all I care to do outside today. But I wanted to follow up on a number of videos and discussions that we had regarding these guys, revolvers. Okay, now this one here is kind of a cool one. This is an old Smith & Wesson M13 round butt 357. This was the shit back in the day because it was super powerful and easy to hide and so on. What a lot of guys did is they kind of dehorned the hammer and so on, and got this thing all parkerized and whatnot, and it made for a great carry weapon because it just wouldn't rust. And the guys over at Suarez International, let me change the angle a little bit here. Paul specifically, Paul is a revolver wizard. My God. This is like about 7 pounds, man. And this guy here, it's about 2.5. Outstanding. Okay, I've had this out shooting, and you know what? This is really cool. My CZs, of course, have the equivalent triggers, and plus they have like 16, 17 rounds, so it's kind of a no-brainer. The way you check these, by the way, because some of the Poindexter propeller heads, I'm like, are you press the trigger without check? Look, dude, it's my house, it's my office. I can do whatever the fuck I want, okay? But I did check, and so there's a couple of ways. One, you can look through here, okay, and really get a quick visual check and just check in there. If there were actual cartridges in there, you'd be able to see. If you want to be a little bit more thorough about it, point the muzzle down, open this up, and just look, in here at this area, and that'll tell you whether you are loaded or unloaded. It's a lot easier to verify status with these than it is with other weapons. Okay, now the cool thing about this is you really don't need a holster. You can just put it in your waistband wherever you want. You want to be a little bit more secure, a little bit faster. Yeah, holster's cool, but again, not necessary with something that's double action. I know I'm heretical iconoclast, but that's okay. I'm comfortable in my darkness. So anyway, that's it. And I wanted to talk about some ancillary equipment. Back in the day, okay, we carried these guys, all right, speed loaders, Safariland and HKS. Now, in today's world, most of the speed loaders have kind of been glommed on by the competition crowd because really very few people carry these anymore. If you're going to rely on a revolver as your primary carry weapon, and concealment is not the primary concern, get one of these. Now, my preference, this is what I carried. I carried 3 of these when I was running a revolver. Carried 3 of these to the left of the belt buckle. Okay. There's Safariland 6. Listen, and there's revolvers being made now that have like 7 and 8. All that does is make them big and fat. Okay, hard to conceal. Maybe all the shit when you're out shooting some revolver match or something, but you're never going to carry those, when you have to leave the house, if revolver is your thing. So keep with 6. I mean, good heavens, it worked wonders for the guys back in the day. You want to get more capacity, carry a semi-auto. But anyway, yeah, these, all you have to do is drop them in, push, and of course this drops off. Don't worry about it. They're relatively easy to find. These guys, you drop it in, turn the knob. Some people think these are more positive. I never really used these. I didn't like them as much. But have a set of those. Now look, if you're going to run a J-frame, I see absolutely no need whatsoever to have a speed loader for your J-frame, okay? Because you're carrying a J-frame because you want concealment. That's the utmost concern. So this kind of negates concealment. All right. Now, yeah, you know what? If you're wearing a winter coat, you can drop a couple of those in your pocket and stuff like that. But you know what? If you're running a winter coat, right, you can carry whatever you want. So don't worry too much about that. Okay. If you're carrying a regular K frame or L frame, or the N frame, the 44 Magnums and so on, speed loaders are a good idea. Otherwise, if you're going super concealment, stay with one of these. Primarily is the speed strip. Now there's a number of them that are made today. Just make sure that the cartridges don't come out when you shake it like this, okay? There's some that are out there that are so flimsy they're ridiculous. And the way these work is you open up the cylinder, and I'll do one on the range here as soon as the weather kind of clears up. But you drop in 2 and then 2 and then 2, so it's 2 times 2 times 2. All right, that gives you the opportunity to load 2 and make sure that you don't need to close that cylinder and go to war. Drop another 2, drop another 2. Okay, if you're running these with a J frame, you're going to have one left over. Big deal. Okay, put it back in your pocket in case you need it later. Save that one bullet. Okay, something else that I ran back in the day was one of these. Okay, now this is my off-duty one. I had a larger one in basket weave to the right of the belt buckle, and I think, who was it that made this? DeSantis. Not the governor, future president, but the DeSantis holster company. I think they're still in business. And this interesting little deal is you carry it on your belt. Now you're not hiding anybody what this is, so it is all about concealment. But it allows you to extract 2 rounds at a time to drop them into your cylinder. And that's kind of cool because waiting to do all 6. Again, you know what? There's gun magicians on the range that'll be able to load 8 rounds faster than somebody can speed load. And I do not give a flying dog shit about what gun magicians can do. My focus is gun fighting and getting you ready to win the gunfight. And so the preference is, okay, drop 2, make sure you're okay. Drop another 2, make sure you're still okay. And then if you have time, drop the other 2 on board, close the cylinder, and you're back in action. Okay. Anyway, that's it. On revolvers, you know what? The heart of it is this guy right here, this double action, okay? Make sure that it is smooth. Heavy is bad. I don't care what Masada Ayub says. Heavy is bad. You want smooth. You want smooth. It's got to be heavy enough to be reliable, but as long as it's reliable, 7 pounds is fine, okay? Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And on the single action, and I like having the capability for single action. Again, don't let anybody tell you that this is wrong. I like it as light as possible because if I need to take that hyper accurate shot on the hostage taker or the terrorist from across the room or parking lot, damn right I'm going to go to single action. Bill Jordan used to talk about this in his book. He said if you need a critical shot, go to single action and don't worry about it, okay? I like, for concealment, I like round butt. Now, I'll probably do a video in a little bit on my Duty 686 and my Duty Chief Special J-frame that I used to carry with me back when dinosaurs roamed the earth. And that one was not round, but it's a square butt. And I'll show you what the differences are. But this allows easier concealment. I also am against the notion of rubberized grips, okay? I know. Uncle Jeff called them stocks. I call them grips. Potato, potato. I like my grips to be smooth so that my clothing rides over it. It doesn't snag and everything else. Same thing with the semi-automatic pistols. Now, somebody took me to task on the video. He said, this is not a pistol. This is a revolver. Au contraire, mon frère. This is a revolving pistol. The semi-auto is a semi-automatic pistol or a self-loading pistol. Look it up, do your history studies, and you'll realize that this is correct. Anyway, so yeah, trigger, round butt is cool. Sometimes we used to, back in the day when we were running speed loaders, we would bevel this cylinder release. Not a real big deal if you're going to run speed strips. Since this is what I used with this particular guy, I never bothered doing that. I think Smith & Wesson is bringing those, selling those now, the revolvers with the beveled cylinder release. And the reason for that was that sometimes your speed loader would get caught up in the edges here. But again, not a real big deal. I think the trigger should be rounded. I don't like I don't like those serrated target triggers that come on some of the end frames, but that's easily replaced. Same thing with the hammers. Big wide hammers, not a good choice. Okay, so anyway, that's it on revolvers. I'll probably do most of my videoing with this guy here because it's more in line with what somebody might carry today. I'll do a little bit of shooting with J-frames too, but anyway, that's it. I'm going to do a little bit more with revolvers today in 2023 because I can, and because it reminds me of some of the crazy shit that we used to do in the old days. Oh, you know what else revolvers are really good for? You can take this and you could hit somebody really fucking hard on the head, and it works really well. Not that I ever did that, of course. I've heard stories. Yeah, that's it. I've heard stories. But anyway, revolvers are cool. They don't replace a good semi-automatic pistol today in 2023, but in some circumstances, they might be preferable to use. Okay, anyway, that's it. Got to do some adult stuff. Peace out.